The city of aquatic splendor has been in the spotlight of rapid development in recent times. As Nigeria's frontline economic hub, the city has remained a destination of choice to many people from around the world, seeking investment opportunities, commerce and tourism. Welcome to Inside Lagos. I'm Adedoja Salam Adeniyi.
Ẹni tí ò dé kò yìn ẹkù kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ẹni ò dé kò yìn ẹkù kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Mo ní pé bó o bá dé kò yìn ẹkù kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Àwọn òyìnbó débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Haúsá débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Àwọn Ìgbò débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Gbogbo Yorùbá débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tí wọ́n mú lọ. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ẹni òde kò yìn ẹkù kan. Èkó ò ní bàjẹ́ lórí àwa. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ọ̀pọ̀ ò bá dé kò yìn ẹkù kan.
As part of the Lagos State government's strategic efforts at repositioning tertiary institutions in the state, Governor Babajide SANWO-OLU has constituted a full visitation panel that will assess the Lagos State University administrative process, academic programs and other activities to ensure the smooth running of the citadel of learning in accordance with the provisions of laws that set it up. Education being one of the most critical pillars of Governor Babajide SANWO-OLU's developmental agenda, the sector has been gaining the required attention from the government, who has continued to show commitment at revamping the state's tertiary educational system. As part of the state's strategic intervention in the education sector, Governor Babajide SANWO-OLU has constituted a full visitation panel that will conduct holistic assessment into the Lagos State University administrative process, academic programs, finances and staff welfare in order to ascertain if the school is being run in accordance with provisions of laws that set it up. Composition of full visitation panel for the school was part of the recommendations submitted to the governor by the Professor Bamitale Omoli-led special panel, which, after resolving the crisis that rocked selection of substantive vice-chancellor, prescribed the need for a full panel to inquire into the level of implementation of the white paper on the last visitation panel report of 2009. Special advisor to the governor on education, Tokunbo Wahab, said the raising of the full visitation panel was the last leg of the Omoli-led team recommendations being implemented by the governor, noting that a thorough assessment would help put all challenges facing the school in the last 12 years to rest.
When the special panel set up earlier in the year and chaired by Professor Bamitale Omoli submitted its recommendation, you did say to the world that everything that was recommended in that report will be painstakingly implemented. And today, we are trying to implement the last leg of the recommendation to the effect that we should follow the extant law and set up a proper visitation panel to look at the whole gamut of issues that have not been dealt with for the past 12 years. Mr. Governor, to that extent, I will present to you the proposed members of this new panel. The panel will be chaired by the renowned Professor Ramon Adisa Bello. Professor Ramon Adisa Bello is a professor of chemical engineering and the immediate past Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos.
The Bello-led team has 8 weeks to submit report on 11 terms of reference it is charged to examine.
Tribe, cult or status, or practice any form of partiality in the performance of my official duties. I will always place service to the public above selfish interest, realizing that a public office is a public trust. Amongst all the people of Lagos State in particular, and Nigeria in general, in all I do. So help me God, Ohala.
For Governor Babajide Sanwo-OLU, raising of the full panel demonstrates his administration's commitment to positioning LASU as the best in quality research and administrative excellence, as well as industrial harmony.
As an administration which places a premium on good governance, today's inauguration of the full visitation panel is a fulfillment of our promise to implement all the recommendations of the Vice Chancellorship Special Visitation Panel. The terms of reference for the LASU Visitation Panel shall include to inquire into the level of implementation of the white paper on the last visitation panel, which was in 2009. That's quite a while. To evaluate the quality of leadership in the university in terms of the rules of the Governing Council, the Vice Chancellor and other principal officers since the last visitation panel, to examine the financial management of the university, including statutory allocations and internally generated revenue over the recommended period, and to determine whether it was in compliance with appropriate regulation, statutes, acts, and laws of the university. To investigate the application of funds, particularly special grants and subventions for accreditation exercise from TED Fund and loans meant for specific projects in order to determine the status of such projects and their relevance for further funding. To determine the adequacy or otherwise of staff and examine the quality of its staff development program in the context of emerging challenges and development in global arena. To examine compliance with the law and the extant regulations of the university in terms of promotion, welfare, and discipline. Procedures, measures for both staff and students. To determine the relationship between the university and its various statutory bodies it interacts with according to its law for the purposes of supervision, planning, finance, discipline, and guidance, and any other relationship with the Governing Council, the National Universities Commission, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, and the Office of Special Advisor on Tertiary Education, as well as the visitor to the university. To examine the law establishing the university, including the relationship between the various internal organs, units, and offices, such as the registry, the BOSA, Works and Maintenance Services, Health Services, department, faculties, and colleges, indicative ways that the laws have been observed or flouted by the relevant authorities, and if necessary, propose modifications to the law to enable the university to better achieve its set objective.
Governor Sanwo-OLU also promised not to interfere in the discharge of the panel's duties, expressing hope that the recommendations will be helpful for the state government in tackling pressing challenges being faced by the university.
You'll be given a free hand to discharge your duties, and I know that we can count on your help. We can count on your help to help the state government to tackle some of the challenges that we think the university currently have. I want to wish you all the very best, and I want to thank you again on behalf of the government and people of Lagos State on this very important assignment.
The panel, through its chairman, Professor Bello, assured the governor that the university will come out healthier after the work of the panel members.
I want to assure you, Your Excellency, that we put in all our efforts and all that we have in experience to this job, because we believe and know that visitation to university is supposed to be a quality control measure. Where there are challenges, this will be brought out, and where they are doing well, this will be brought out, so that the university can go to excellence and move on to very great heights, as Your Excellency would love that university to be. We know Lagos State is putting so much resources into LASU, and we believe that you want it to really be in the right direction. And that's why this visitation panel has been put together.
As part of efforts to tackle the menace of gridlock in Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-OLU has inaugurated a multi-story facility with a capacity to accommodate more than 300 cars. This is meant to ease the age-long parking problem along ONIKAN, Lagos Island area of the state. Lagos is not just Nigeria's commercial nerve center, it is one of Africa's most populous cities. As one of the fastest growing megacities in the world, tackling traffic congestion is one of the priorities of the state government. But the state government has not been relenting in finding a lasting solution to the menace with its intermodal transportation master plan to further mitigate the effect of gridlock in the state. Governor Babajide Sanwo-OLU has inaugurated a multi-story facility with a capacity to accommodate 384 cars on 5 suspended floors to ease the age-long parking problem along ONIKAN area of Lagos. Aside the parking lots, provision was also made for social activities on the 6th floor, which consists of 2 banquet halls with a capacity to seat between 600 and 1,000 guests.
And banquet hall, 3 of them in total, to our citizens, to Lagosians, Nigerians, and everybody that will be using this place. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you.
Lagos Island could modestly be referenced as the largest commercial corridor in the entire state. And so there is therefore a corresponding increase in commuting, especially high volume of vehicular traffic, including social activity, which culminates in traffic gridlocks and pressure along this entire corridor. And so, like it has been said, this multi-level car park facility and auditorium was conceived sometime around 2013. And I was just asking Mr. Deputy what was on this ground then. You know, it used to be a dump site. It used to be a place where nobody could get into. And so you can see that indeed our government has converted a liability onto an asset. And I think we deserve a round of applause for that. And so all around here, you also see a lot of social activities and social clubs that have been here for decades. From Island Club, to Yoruba Tennis Club, to the Lagos Lawn Club, to the King George V Park, to the Police Area Command Zone 2 here, of course to the Museum Kitchen that is right next to us, but more importantly, to the edifice that we're bringing right across you, which is the J. Randu Center for Yoruba and African Culture. These are facilities that are in this neighborhood, and we're sure that this multi-level car park will speak to all of the traffic issues and all of the social integration that needs to happen around there. And so that you can see that this is well conceived, is well thought out, and it will help and reduce all of the gridlocks that usually happen around this place.
This is no doubt a major standpoint for Governor Babajide Sanwo-OLU's traffic management and transportation agenda as a driver of the state economy.
We're also happy that we can conduct social activity here. There are 2 halls, so you can see on our right-hand side and here where we're sitting. So you don't have any reason or any excuse not to say that you don't have a place for your event. You have a place for your event and you have adequate parking also for your event. I'm sure we'll be competing with the Greetings Hall and the Island Club Hall at some point in time. But it's good. Competition is good, but it's because it's needed. This is governance. This is what government is supposed to do. It's supposed to think through how do you solve societal problem? How do you solve the problem of your citizens? And I believe that this edifice that has over 384 parking lots, that has seating capacity for over 1,400, will ensure that not only is free flow of traffic, but will also ensure that there can be ambience, that is needed in this entire neighborhood. I must mention that this facility have also been designed to serve various needs. Like I said, it can seat up to 1,400 capacity, and it also has what we call an automated free collection service. The efficient traffic management for the car park. We have what we call an automated free collection service that will ensure that the traffic does not dovetail, into the main road. So everything will be contained here, and it can be well, managed, appropriately.
For the Special Advisor to the Governor on Works and Infrastructure, Engineer Aramide Adeyoye, this project is done with the belief that it will extend development across Lagos and grow the economy of the state through a robust infrastructure portfolio.
The unprecedented growth of personalized vehicles has made the provision for parking an important aspect of transport planning, which the State Parking Authority law recognizes. In a city such as Lagos, scarcity of land is an issue, hence a multi-story car park which utilizes vertical space provides an ideal solution to overcome horizontal space constraints and regulate better traffic flow. In deciding to do this, we also realize that this facility building is significantly important because of its large size parking capacity, income generation potential, and its location strategically within the heart of ONIKAN. Its judicious use will no doubt help absorb vehicles that would have otherwise parked on the roadside and other illegal parking spaces along the corridor, with its attendant negative impact on traffic flow.
Lagos State government has resolved to begin the prosecution of persons violating isolation rule, vaccination guidelines, and other requirements for COVID-19 safety. To ensure that is done, the government says it will set up mobile courts for prosecution.
With some nations of Europe and America, as well as Russia and Germany, on the threshold of a fourth wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. Here in Nigeria, Lagos State government is taking quick steps to mitigate a possible fourth wave. The government is worried about a possible surge in the spread of the virus during the fast approaching Yuletide, when international travel will rise and many will be returning home to celebrate with family and friends. That will be coming at a time the government is battling to get the rate of vaccination in the state beyond 2.67%. To address dangerous excesses, the government says it will be setting up mobile courts for the prosecution of those engaging in sharp practices against safety rules, like parading fake COVID vaccination cards. The mobile courts will be working under the empowerment of two laws promulgated by the state legislature.
So we know that our waves are triggered by movement of people, and movement of people that are carrying the viruses with them. Perhaps when they did their test before boarding the aircraft, they were negative, and they were incubating the virus and they arrived. But quite often, some people are carrying fake certificates and actually not testing. And as a result, when you come into Lagos and we do a proper test on you, we find out you're positive. At that stage, you've already had the opportunity to spread the virus to certain people. At the same time, many people have not been coming for their testing. And so if you're positive on arrival and you're going around your normal business, going to work, socializing, you will be putting other people at risk, transmitting the virus and triggering a wave within the community.
Lagos State Commissioner for Health also pronounced some good news for the vaccinated.
For vaccinated passengers, fully vaccinated passengers, coming into Lagos, it's quite straightforward. You do a PCR test before you board your aircraft. It must be negative. You pay and book for a day 2 test on arrival. You no longer have to isolate if you are fully vaccinated on arrival in Lagos. All that is required of you is to do a PCR COVID test on the second day of your arrival.
And if you're wondering how to know your COVID-19 status, the government says 10 sample collection sites still exist in the state, including the Infectious Diseases Hospital in Yaba. To get vaccinated, 225 public and 135 private health facilities exist across local government areas of the state. Vaccination is free, except in private facilities where the payment of 6,000 naira is required for the 2 doses. Capping it all up with this information, Lagos State government says the vaccinated have a 33 times higher possibility of being infected, falling severely ill, and eventually dying than the fully vaccinated.
It is yet another award for Governor Babajide Sanwo-OLU this year as he bagged the new Telegraph Governor of the Year 2021 for good governance. Speaking during the event, the Senate Chief Whip and former Governor of Abia State, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu, described Governor Sanwo-OLU as a man of vision he admires so much. Kalu, who is publisher of Daily Telegraph Publishing Company, publishers of Daily Telegraph, Saturday Telegraph and Sunday Telegraph newspapers, commended the crucial role played by Governor Babajide Sanwo-OLU and members of his cabinet during the COVID-19 pandemic.
And I have the honor, on behalf of the Telegraph newspaper corporation, to give this articulated man, a man of vision, a man that I admire so much, that anytime he falls ill, he beats his job. A man that knows his job. A man that can be like a woman now and be Victoria now in the next 3 hours. A man that I see during the COVID, his honorable commissioner for health, running around to see that the life of the has saved. I have the singular honor of giving you this honor of governor of the year to the glory of God. Thank you very much.
For Governor Babajide Sanwo-OLU, his award as New Telegraph Governor of the Year 2021 in good governance is about governance and ensuring that the citizens get the desired dividends of democracy. And that's the package on this episode of Inside Lagos. Many thanks for being a part of it. Remember to get yourself vaccinated and keep observing all COVID-19 safety protocol. I'm Adedoja Salam Adeni. See you next time. Thanks for watching.